Every year, hundreds of lottery winners lose everything: their money, their families, and their minds, within just a few years of hitting the jackpot. What the lottery corporations, the IRS, and even your own family won't tell you is that the system is specifically designed to strip that money away from you before you even know what's happening. So the real question is, what do the rare winners who actually keep their fortune know that everyone else doesn't? Most people think winning the lottery is a dream come true. You've probably imagined it yourself. The ticket in your hand, the numbers matching one by one, the moment your whole life changes forever. But according to financial advisors, estate attorneys, and former lottery winners themselves, for most people, that moment isn't the beginning of a dream. It's the beginning of a nightmare they never saw coming. Here's what nobody tells you when you win. The second that ticket is verified, a clock starts ticking, and almost everyone who wins is already losing before they ever cash a single check. The IRS takes nearly half right off the top. Then your state takes another bite. Then the lawyers show up. Then the financial advisors. Then the cousins you haven't spoken to in 15 years suddenly remember your birthday. By the time the dust settles, that life-changing number on your ticket looks very different from the amount that actually lands in your bank account. But the money disappearing isn't even the darkest part. Former lottery officials and financial insiders who have watched this play out hundreds of times say the real damage isn't financial. It's personal. Marriages collapse. Children stop speaking to their parents. Winners develop anxiety, depression, and paranoia so severe that some of them have said publicly they wish they never bought the ticket at all. By the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why this keeps happening, what the lottery system is actually designed to do, and most importantly, what the small group of winners who kept their money did differently from everyone else. Because there is a playbook, and the people who survive a lottery win know it. The people who don't survive it never even knew it existed. So let's start with the story that changed how financial insiders think about lottery winners forever. His name was David Lee Rhodes, and on a Tuesday morning in March 2004, he bought a scratch ticket at a gas station in Charleston, West Virginia, while waiting for his coffee to brew. He won $314 million. He was already a successful businessman, worth about $17 million before the win. People thought he was the perfect lottery winner, someone who already had money and knew how to handle it, someone who wouldn't make the mistakes that broke people make. They were wrong. Within 4 years, David had been robbed multiple times at casinos. His granddaughter's boyfriend was found dead in his car. His granddaughter herself disappeared and was later found dead. His wife left him. He was sued over 400 times by people claiming he owed them money. He stood at her grave and told reporters that he wished he had torn up the ticket. A man who had everything lost, something money could never buy back because of money. But David's story is just one version of how this plays out. Meet Karen, a school teacher from Ohio who won $6.4 million in 1993. She was so afraid of what the money would do to her family that she kept working for a year after she won without telling a single person. But eventually, the secret came out. Within 2 years, her brother hired someone to try to kill her so he could inherit the money. She survived, but said in interviews that she never felt safe again. Not once. Not anywhere. Then there's Evelyn, who won $5.4 million in Michigan in 1989. She bought her dream house. She gave money to family. She tried to do everything right. But the people around her never stopped asking for more. The requests turned into demands. The demands turned into threats. She ended up nearly broke, living in a house with no heat and no running water, less than a decade after her win, according to documented reports. These stories aren't accidents. Financial advisors who specialize in sudden wealth say there is a clear and predictable pattern to how lottery winners fall apart. First comes the shock. Then the bad decisions made in that shocked state. Then the people who circle in to take advantage. Then the isolation. Then the collapse. Before we get to how to stop that pattern, though, you need to understand the machine that makes it almost impossible to avoid. And that machine starts the second you turn in your ticket. The moment you walk into a lottery claims office, something happens that most winners never notice. The staff is friendly. The room is bright. Someone offers you water or coffee. It feels like a celebration. But former lottery officials who have come forward say that room is designed to do one thing: get you to make decisions before you are ready to make them. The pressure to claim quickly, to choose between lump sum and annuity on the spot, to sign documents while your hands are still shaking from the news, is not accidental. It is structural, and it costs winners hundreds of thousands of dollars before they ever leave the building. Here's what the math actually looks like. Say you win $20 million. You take the lump sum because everyone tells you to take the money now. That lump sum is already only about $12 million. Then the federal government takes 37%. Now you have about $7.5 million. Then your state takes its cut. Depending on where you live, you might be down to $5.5 or $6 million. From $20 million to $6 million before you buy a single thing. And that is if you have no lawyers, no financial advisors, and no family asking for anything yet. Former tax attorneys say most winners have no idea this is coming, and the shock of seeing the real number causes them to make desperate decisions trying to feel like they actually won something. But the tax hit is only the first trap. Financial insiders describe a well-documented phenomenon they call the advisor swarm. Within days of a winner's name becoming public, they are contacted by financial advisors, investment managers, real estate agents, and lawyers. Some of these people are legitimate. Many are not. Former estate attorneys say the predatory ones are specifically trained to approach new winners during the window of maximum vulnerability, which is the first 90 days after a win when a person is still emotionally overwhelmed and has not yet built a trusted team around them. The lottery corporations know all of this happens. Former officials confirm they have internal data showing the average winner's financial trajectory over 5 and 10-year periods. They know most winners lose the majority of their money within a decade, and they do not change the system because the system is not broken. It is working exactly as designed. The lottery needs new winners to replace the old ones, and a broke former winner buys just as many tickets as everyone else. There is a man named Brad Duke who won $220 million in 2005 and still has most of it today. He did not buy a mansion. He did not tell everyone he knew. The day after he won, he called a small group of trusted people, a tax attorney, a financial planner, and a therapist, and he did not make a single major financial decision for 6 months. 6 months. While other winners were buying cars and handing out checks, Brad was sitting in meetings, learning exactly what he had and exactly what it would take to keep it. Financial insiders who have studied his case say that 6-month pause is the single most important thing he did. Then there is Cynthia Stafford, who won $112 million in 2007. She gave generously to her family, but she set hard limits before she told anyone about the win. She decided exactly how much she would give and to whom, and she never moved those lines no matter how hard people pushed. Former wealth advisors say that is the second key habit of winners who survive. They make the rules before the requests start coming in. Because once the requests start, the pressure to say yes becomes almost impossible to resist without a plan already in place. The pattern among survivors is clear and consistent. according to every financial insider who has studied this. They claim anonymously, where the law allows it. They wait before making any major decisions. They build a small trusted team of professionals before telling friends or family. They set boundaries around giving before anyone asks. And they treat the money not as a windfall, but as a business that requires management, protection, and long-term thinking from day one. The dark side of winning the lottery is real, and it has swallowed hundreds of lives whole. But it is not inevitable. The difference between David Rhodes standing at his granddaughter's grave, wishing he had torn up the ticket, and Brad Duke quietly building wealth a decade after his win is not luck. It is not intelligence. It is information and the willingness to slow down when every instinct is screaming at you to celebrate. If you ever hold that winning ticket, the most important thing you can do is nothing, at least for a little while. Subscribe for more insider information they do not want you to have.